So Clive, 2011, interesting year for the world economy, I'd say.
Yeah, I've been fascinated actually, James, by how the world media, the news and the TV report, because obviously we're based in Europe and there's been a lot of turmoil there, but actually there's other parts of the world that are absolutely booming. And I find it incredible that the press, they don't talk about the booming economies of the world. They only concentrate on effectively on the bad news. And I know that's all about selling newspapers and so on. But actually, I think there's a lot of people out there who are worrying about investing, when in fact there's this whole swathes of the world that are really, really growing.
There are a number of developed economies that that are really recovering after a tough time. The USA being an obvious example, an economy which was hit probably harder than anyone else by the global downturn 2008-9. But which is recovering at more than double the speed of any of the eurozone economies. Two that we've obviously spent a lot of time working in is Turkey and Brazil. Brazil, you're looking at it's overtaken the UK this year as a larger economy, and the seventh biggest in the world. And Turkey, not many people would know, but was actually the quickest growing economy in the world in 2011, ahead of China. There can be no doubt there's opportunities in Brazil. I think one of the statistics is 20% property price growth in 2009, which is regularly rolled out. But personally, I'm not going to be going and buying buy-to-let property right now in Brazil. I don't feel that the economy is sufficiently developed, the legal structure is sufficiently developed for that. I wouldn't want to go in there on my own. Now there are experts who only spend their money there, people from Brazil, and I've got no doubt they're doing very well out of it. But for the average UK-based investor, I don't think that's right. What we've looked to do is team up with large kind of corporate bodies for investment there, take advantage of the growth without carrying the risks. So almost piggybacking on the coattails of a big developer, so that the legal structures are all in place. It's all managed out of the UK. And you're not individually exposed to the minutiae of investment in Brazil. I think Turkey's a fantastic example of a growth market. It's a big enough economy that the growth is sustainable. And if you compare it to the kind of southern European nations as part of the eurozone, the likes of your Spain's, Portugal's, Greece. Unfortunately, those countries at the moment don't have the money. They don't have the budget to reinvest in their own country, to reinvest in infrastructure. Marketing, etc., at a national level. Turkey's the exact opposite. It's got a huge budget surplus now. The government's able to invest, like you say, in infrastructure, in road, rail, in marketing the country as well, and those things will drive it forwards.
I think another economy that stood out for us over the last sort of 12-18 months and continues to do the same, I think, is Canada. A lot of people sort of written off North America generally, when in fact, as you rightly say, the American economy is starting to dramatically pick up. But an economy that a lot of people don't even think about or even forget exists is Canada. Canada was so well run as an economy through the 90s and the early sort of 2000s that it didn't have the exposure to the sort of the finance markets that a lot of Europe did. But as a result, that economy has continued also to sort of power along. I think the other one that would probably surprise a lot of people, of course, is the Caribbean. I think about 19 million people visited the Caribbean last year. It's a serious sort of top-end five-star tourism market that really has been largely unaffected by some of the problems around the world.
Well, I think with investment in general, there's no doubt, and any experienced investor knows that right now is a great time to invest your money. You don't invest at the top of the market; you invest at the right time. And I think if you pick your countries well, if you pick the right dynamics, then you're looking at a situation where most countries have either weathered the storm and are recovering, or were largely unaffected by what's happened or what's continuing to happen in the economy. Caribbean tourism market being a great example, Canada being another example. In the US, if you buy in the right place in the US, you can buy into micro markets which are already recovering at a rate way above anything in the UK, and by that I'm talking about economic recovery. And you can typically buy 30 to 40% of the 2007-8 prices. Rentals on those comparable properties, we're talking about residential buy-to-let type investments, are higher than they were in 2007-8. So you're talking about 4 or 5 times the yield that you would have achieved then. In the UK, that isn't true. The rental market is quite strong here at the moment in terms of demand, But I don't know about you, but across my portfolio, I haven't really seen yields push up by any significant amount over the last couple of years or the last 12 months.
Now, there's no doubt that there are these economies that we've found that are continuing to be very, very strong. I think the other challenge, of course, that clients then put to us is that they have to think about how they're going to finance getting involved in any of these investments. Now, of course, we're still in a position where we can, we'll find investments that are sort of lower end of the market, the £2,000, £3,000, £4,000. But realistically, if people want to make some serious money, they might have to put 10, 20, 30, 40,000. If you find the right products, you'll find banks out there who are more than happy to put creative financing together overseas, so the client pretty much doesn't have to put any of their own money in at all.
Yeah. What we try and do as a business is we try to educate our clients. We run a lot of evening events, weekend events, master classes, which are purely designed to educate clients about investment, about making the right decisions, making their decisions based on numbers rather than on emotions. Like we were talking about, the USA versus UK comparison is a really good one for that, absolutely. To be honest. And we're not talking about going and buying a holiday home here or there. We're talking about going and buying a pure investment.
I think, say, the 2012 is more of the same for us, really. 2011, 2011, we've had some extraordinary products that we found because there are these great markets. I don't see that changing much. I think 2012 has more of the same to offer.
Yeah, I think we're without doubt in a buyer's market right now. And those who wait till the press are reporting that it's the time to invest, they've missed the boat, to be honest. Yeah, we're looking forward to 2012.
Absolutely.
Cheers.